Oh, good morning, everyone. How are you? Once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. No Viderma here this morning yet, but Fran, good morning. Good to have you on. And we'll wait for a few folks. Here comes Rita. Good morning, Rita. Rosa. And Holly from Kansas. I bet you it's hot in Kansas. Rosalinda, Niagara Falls. Edith. And Mary, good morning. And Nativity. Our faithful Lorraine, good morning to you. Lori. And David, how are you? Wawa. John. And Renee, good morning, Renee. How are you? Kevin, Oshawa. And Jeanette from our staff. Dorothy. Donna, Park Hill. Good morning. Connie, how are you, Connie? From Alliston, right? Barry, Alliston. Jean, Zian. Good morning. Jeanette. Chantal, Joyce, and Georgie, Halifax, Rainey, Carol, Moncton, New Brunswick, Elizabeth, good morning. Helga, hello. Maureen, Boca Raton, good morning. Florida, Patricia, Fran from Orangeville, Kathy, Texas. Amal, how are you? Rose. And Vera, Newfoundland. And Robin from Connecticut. Angela. And Hazel, St. John's, Newfoundland. Yolande, bonjour. Natalie, Oshawa. Colette, good morning. Nellie, how is you? Carol, from Garson. Lise. Wendy, how are you, Wendy? Basra, Pakistan. Jerry, Bonnie, Brenda, Campbell River, British Columbia. Jocelyn, Baxter, Ontario. Len and Judy, I know where you're from. Edmonton. Susan, good morning. Tharanidi, you look so young. Is that you or me? Catherine, Diane. Deb from Detroit, Michigan. Dolores. Okay, a couple more. We got to get going. Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Donna, how are you? Okay. And it's good to be with you. You know, I am entitling this little podcast, The Canola Virus. Have you been infected by the canola virus? Now listen to this. This happened in March, okay? I was not aware of this. I read this yesterday. And there was actually on March the 22nd, listen to this. An Airbus A380, it's a super jumbo jet, went on a flight powered completely by cooking oil. Okay? A jumbo jet. An Airbus A380 went on a flight powered by cooking oil. When I read this, guys, I almost fell over. The same oil that is found in the middle aisles of your grocery store from anything you fry in, and wait a minute, let me take that back. Not you guys. What the world fries in, from fries to chicken nuggets, whatever they make in a restaurant that they fry, it's the oil. The twin tower of obesity. 88% of our population, 88%, and I'm doubling down because personally, I think it's over 90%. But the world says 88% of North Americans suffer with metabolic syndrome, which is a food problem. Metabolic syndrome occurs when your insulin is elevated, high circulating insulin, leading to insulin resistance, and thus is at the root of, and that's why the Metabolic Reset book was #1 selling book in Canada. Why? Why? Because all the diseases, all the chronic diseases are caused. One of the major causes is high circulating insulin. Now, we all know about sugar, and especially high fructose corn syrup, the Frankenstein of all sugars. Our bodies weren't made for it. Our bodies don't know what to do with it. It sends it over to the Costco parking lot, your liver, in seconds. But the twin tower of that, obesity, diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, autoimmune, they have something in common, guys. It's bad oil. Bad oil. Bad sugar, bad oil. Why do they use it? Why on God's earth do we use this oil? Well, let me give you a little history. You know me, I'm a historian. I am a medical historian. I gave myself that title. I like to look, okay, what changed? That's why I told you about high fructose corn syrup. If you don't know the story behind it, did you guys know it all started with Procter and Gamble? What was the guy's name here? William Procter and James Gamble, P&G, Procter and Gamble. These guys were in the soap business. Soap. Not food, soap. I mean, this is well-documented history, guys. And William Procter in 1870 and James Gamble started the Procter and Gamble company, and they were making soap. What was happening at the same time is that the world was going through the Industrial Revolution, and cottonseed oil, which was used to, light up your homes and lanterns and stuff like that, a very cheap oil, was replaced by petroleum. And Procter and Gamble found out that they could get this oil, seed oils, made from cottonseed. It was classified as toxic. And they said, well, let's make soap with it because it's going to be cheap. We don't have to use tallow that they were using for soap. So they took this oil, okay, cottonseed oil, and they were making soap. But you know what they found out? They could turn that oil if they got a process called hydrogenation. They hardened the oil to make it look like tallow. And by the 1940s, the American Heart Association, who received $1.5 million in 1940. Think about that amount of money. Like if you had $1.5 million in 1940, I mean, that would be like $100 million today, right? So let's put it into perspective. They gave a 1.5 million donation to the American Heart Association to call this hydrogenated Crisco. Have you heard of Crisco? Right? Who didn't have, if you're my age, okay, and mommy was making cookies, what do you think they were using mostly? And pie crust and all this kind of stuff. Crisco. Crisco is hydrogenated seed oil. The same stuff that they run the Airbus A380 plane on. It's hydrogenated oil. But you see, the American Heart Association received the money. You know what they did? They said, this is better than butter. This is better than ghee, or I don't know what you call it. This oil is better for your heart. And then you got the perfect storm. In 1955, I've told you this story before. Quick question. Who was president of the United States in 1955? I love history, guys. Not only medical history, I love history. Who was president in the USA? Dwight Eisenhower. You know what happened to him? He had a massive heart attack playing golf. Presidents like to play golf. He dropped right there. He didn't die immediately, but at the very moment, there was a researcher, a pathologist at the University of Minnesota. I've told you his name before. Ansel Keys, Dr. Ansel Keys. And he had a hypothesis as to why Dwight Eisenhower had a heart attack. And thus, the cholesterol hoax started in 1955. Now, a merger took place. The food industry, Procter & Gamble leading the way. And Ansel Keys, a two-headed beast. They started to come down on cholesterol, and if you had the seed oils instead of butter, if you would use Crisco instead of lard, or whatever. Do you know that McDonald's used to cook their French fries in lard? Until they were bamboozled and had their arm twisted by the nutrition police. And said, you can't use that oil. You're giving your customers a heart attack. You need to use our oil. And thus, do you know what Canada's contribution to the twin towers of disease? Brought to you by Canada. Canola oil. Can oil. Canada oil. It sounds healthy. Go to the grocery store. It's clear oil. And they say, well, see, it's not fat. It's not saturated fat. Saturated fat is bad for you. And Procter & Gamble and the American Heart Association and the food industry and Ansel Keys and all of them were in on they were on the take, first of all, and they were in on this. The greatest deception maybe in the history of mankind. And it's led to disaster. Disaster. I invite you, my friend. I invite you to use your eyeballs. Come with me to any mall in North America. Why do I say a mall? Because, well, there's people there. Right? And you and I will sit there and we'll observe what's going on in our society today. You will see the results of the big lie. High fructose corn syrup and these hydrogenated oils, they're heated, they are deodorized, they are chemically, you can run an Airbus on them, a plane. Do you think your body was meant for that kind of oil? That elevates your omega-6, and that's a big, big problem. What happens when you consume these oils? And they're hidden, guys. You don't even think of it. Middle aisles of your grocery store, sauces, salad dressings, from pretzels to cookies to you name it. And then anything fried in a restaurant. And 99% of the people in their homes, because they don't know better. They've been lied to. And when omega-6 goes up, some have said as high as 30-to-1 ratio to omega-3. Now, you know me and omega-3, guys. I mean, there's study after study after study after study, omega-3, omega-3, omega-3. And you know me, your brain is made up of omega-3. Your brain is made up of specifically of DHA. Fat don't make you fat. Fat doesn't give you a heart attack unless you're taking the wrong fat. And that's canola oil. The hateful eight, I call them. The hateful eight: canola, corn, cottonseed, soy, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed, rice bran oils. Read your labels, guys. You know me. I'm into telling you about read your labels. See what from peanut butter. I love peanut butter. But I don't touch the unnatural stuff. It's made with hydrogenated oil. It's really peanut butter icing sugar. And all the companies are in on it. And guys, look at the results. We're at the mall. What do you see? Diabesity. 50% of the population has some form. Look, and I you know me, I've said it from the beginning of when I mean, you go back 20, 30 years, 40 years, I've been saying, if you got A1C that's above 5.4, put in your head, my name is Tony, I'm a carboholic, and I'm on the road to diabetes. If you're on the road, you're not good. Well, I'm not a diabetic yet, Doc. I know, but your body does everything it can to keep you away from diabetes. It'll do everything it can to keep sugar out of your bloodstream. That's how toxic sugar is. But you're on your way anyway. And medicine, they wait. Oh, you're not a diabetic. Don't worry about it. You're on that road. You know, the Bible talks about it in Matthew chapter 7. The broad road that leads to destruction. I know Jesus was talking about a spiritual road, but I'm talking to you about the broad road that 90% of the population is on. At the mall, what do we see? Big. Obese. Diabetes. Caused by bad oils and bad sugar. And that's why, guys, listen to me. When you do the reset, you're not taking any bad oil and you're not taking any bad sugar. None. Nada. For 30 days. You have no idea what that does to your body. Your body goes, holy moly. No omega-6? Only omega-3? Insulin is on a holiday. See, one of the biggest things that happens with this imbalance between omega-6 and omega-3, what is the main result of that? Inflammation. Your body doesn't know what it is, guys. When you give your body something that it doesn't know, artificial sugars, or you know what I mean? Your body goes, what are you giving me? Even high fructose corn syrup. It doesn't know how to process it. So it stores it. It sends it to the Costco parking lot. Go park over there. I don't know what you just gave me. Your gut doesn't even recognize it. Well, it does. It recognizes this oil, as a foreign invader. You want to know why there's so much asthma? You want to know why there's so much autoimmune? Do you want to know why there's so much mental health problems in our society today? Nobody looks at food. I know chemistry is involved and the neurotransmitters and serotonin and dopamine. I know, but why is it involved? Our kids, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, I feel sorry for them. They're being duped. We were duped, and it's worse for them. They're being fed this vegan lie, and there's all sorts of, shows on Netflix and all this and that, and avoid red meat and, blah, 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 and protein destroys your kidneys and blah, 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 blah. It's all propaganda. And guys, I'm not optimistic. I'm an optimist, by the way. I don't look at the glass half empty. I look at it half full. I'm an optimist, but I'm not optimistic about our future of health. I'm not. And that's why, one of my goals, I mean this. I always said I was on Freedom 85, okay? You know what that means? Freedom 85 is when I'm going to retire, okay? But, Tony Jr. and I, okay, we talk and talk and talk. And we look into our crystal ball type of thing and look to the future. And, my son is very smart, he is. He said, Dad, you got to get the message out. We got to get the message out to our audience, to our individuals. He said, I will help you to expand your audience. You need, Dad, to go into full-time teaching. All the nutrition background that you have. And, and all the experience and practice. And you practiced for 46 years. Dad, teach. Teach. To those who will listen. You're not going to get to everyone. Some people, I can see it. Their eyes glaze over. I was talking to someone yesterday or the day before about their health. And they weren't listening. They weren't interested. What do you want me to do? If you want my attention, you can get my attention. But if you're not going to listen, hey, it's up to you. I can't change your diet for you. I can't, I wish I could. If I could do it, I could be a substitute. But I can't do it for people. Every day I get asked about cancer, heart disease, whatever. So we'll change your diet. What? I can't do that. Do you know how hard it is? Well, I didn't say it was going to be easy. And you're going to be surrounded by people who are not doctors or who are doctors, who don't know 2 ounces of nutrition, and they'll tell you something, but don't listen to that. When you eat that many eggs in a week, you know how bad that is for you? And if you eat like steak, I say steak's no good. That's saturated fat. And yet they got no problem with these seed oils. The hateful eight. And instead of opening their eyeballs and look around the world, just look. Observe. What are we on? What kind of an experiment have we been on in the last 50 years? Hasn't been good. You would think, oh, that's a failure. Let's do something else. Oh no, they're doubling. The food industry is doubling down. And they have lots of money. Procter and Gamble, even today, they are huge. They're one of the top 8 food companies in the world. PepsiCo and Coca-Cola. Okay? They're unbelievable. And they're not going to give up ground easily. And they just won't do it. And they pay politicians. They run the FDA. Between big pharma and big food. You got to go against the grain, guys. You got to be like a salmon swimming upstream, not downstream. You got to go against the tide, because the tide, our kids are being inundated. Meat's no good, meh. Don't eat that stuff. cheese. Whoa. That'll give you cholesterol. No, it won't. Well, it will. It'll give you good cholesterol. But I read that article. I mean it. I just about fell over. If I wasn't sitting when I read it, I think I would have fell. A jumbo jet runs on in seed oil, food oil. They'll do anything, guys, to get rid of fossil fuels. Anything. They're going to run their jets on what we put into our bodies, what we cook with. Oh, my word, I just can't get over it. Drives me crazy. And we have so much heart disease. You know, you would think if Ansel Keys was right, if the American Heart Association was right, that saturated fat is the culprit. Cholesterol is the baby that gives you heart disease. If that was true, guys, you know what? We would have won the war on heart disease already. But when the premise is wrong, if the premise is wrong, the solution will be wrong. So the solution was to get people not to eat saturated fat, animal fat. Saturated fat is a satisfied fat. It's animal fat. It's found in meat, eggs, and cheese. Dairy. Yes. Don't ditch dairy. Switch dairy. I don't want you drinking milk. I don't. People said, well, Doc, what do you want me to drink? Drink water and coffee. You'll get used to it. Okay for your teetotalers. Why do you have to drink anything other than water and coffee? You don't need to. Okay, make your kids a Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. You'll save their lives. You'll lower their inflammation. You will satisfy by giving them healthy fat. A boatload of dairy fat. It's not dairy fat that makes you fat. It's dairy sugar. When you drink grocery store milk, don't touch that stuff with a 100-foot pole. You can have some cream in your coffee, not milk. But it always bothers me. I get it, I understand it, but I have so little patience when I see people drinking other stuff other than water and coffee. What are you doing to yourself? Do you know what? The biggest scam are these seed oils, high fructose corn syrup, especially when you drink the sugar. Orange juice. Oh, I get a splitting headache when I see people drinking orange juice. The number one source in Canada and the United States of vitamin C. Did you know that? Orange juice. You might as well have 2 Pepsis for breakfast. Yeah, but Doc, I'm getting my vitamin C. Oh, drink coffee, you'll get the real vitamin C. But guys, at the end of the day, you got information, you got to make those choices. And I know you guys know better, but I'm worried about, and I know you are, your kids and your grandchildren. Lied to. Imagine an oil that you can run. I always said it, right? Like these seed oils, like soy and canola or whatever, they're highly synthetic. When I go get my oil changed in my truck, they always ask me, what do I know? I said, I came here, you guys know. What is my truck called for? Well, semi-synthetic. Okay. And what's the difference? Well, fully synthetic, well, it won't break down as fast. I said, okay, well, I want to keep my truck. I know the government's trying to take my truck away. You have to mortgage your house to go fill it up. You live in Northern Ontario, you need a truck, okay? Just drive on our roads, you'll find out why. Fully synthetic oil. What are they using? Canola? I don't know. Maybe they are. They can run a plane on them. Man, oh man, I never thought I'd see the day. How crazy, crazy, crazy the world is. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Okay, guys. Tomorrow is what? Question and Answer Friday. Are you looking forward to that? I am. Send in your questions. Okay? We appreciate all your questions. We do. Okay? Don't be duped. Don't be duped. Okay. If you want, you share this. Get the word out. Your friends and family, get them to join the Martin Clinic private Facebook group. We love that community. You guys are the best. The best of the best. And I mean it. Okay. We'll talk to you soon.